Hello and welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes video. And first off, I just wanted to say thank you for 100 subs. The growth over like the last week has been great. It's like the subscribe count has doubled, so thank you. And if you have been enjoying it, or if you find yourself coming back, please consider subscribing as well. It really helps. But in this video, I wanted to just go over like how to be more efficient with your account. This is going to be like catered towards more like early game players. But even if you are, got a few mil GP, you still might like learn something from this, so please still consider watching it. But the first thing I wanted to say is if you go into settings and go to time settings, you're gonna want to you might be happy with how yours is now, like your time settings, but you're gonna want to change it to cater towards what you want, because this changes what times you get your energy drops in the day. So you get 3 a day. You get 12 hours after your daily activities reset, which gives you light side, dark side, energy, cantina, and mod energy. So for me, my daily refresh is at midnight. So at midday, I get those 3 energies. And then 6 hours after that first lot of energies, you get light side, dark side, and fleet energy. So I get mine at 6 p.m. And then you get a third drop of light side, dark side energy. What would be 9 p.m. for me, so another 3 hours after that. So you want to be thinking about that and when to change your time to, just so you can get you can make sure you can get all the refreshes. So that's just a little thing, because you don't want like cantina energy being at 4 o'clock in the morning, because you're not going to be able to like claim it unless you set an alarm, and if you do that, you're crazy. Because especially when you're farming like a Galactic Legend, you need the signal data. You're gonna want to be using as much cantina energy as you can, the red one. So that's like my biggest tip. And one is make sure you're claiming them all. Make sure you're logging in every day at your daily refresh, so you can get the claim the calendar every day and do your activities, because then you get like crystals and like fleet arena, some fleet arena currency, some extra squad arena currency, some Kyrotech, a little bit of gear. You know what I mean? You'll just want to make sure you're getting everything, and that leads on to like the web store as well. Make sure you log into that every day and claim your like character shards and your extra energy and your credits or whatever it is this month. It's just a really, really helpful thing. And then going into your collection and into your characters, you're gonna want to like choose something to focus on, no matter which character that is. Like if we go to the journey guide actually first, no matter which characters you're wanting or which characters you're aiming to get, just farm for them. Don't start farming like other things, like just just focus, because if you're doing loads of things at once, your gear's getting spread thin. You're not gonna have enough. Like if you're going for Revan, make sure you're just farming up Revan's characters at a time. Or like a Galactic Legend, make sure you're just focusing on like the requirements. Like I did for Sif, once I was farming him up, I'd take breaks to farm other things up on other teams, but like this was always my number one goal. Like all my conquest reward, the conquest currency were going towards gear for this, and like I was just fully focused on that. So make sure you're doing that. That is like the most important thing. Just have a goal, try to hit that goal before you move on to a new one, and make sure you've got like a long-term plan as well. Think, right, I'm gonna go for this character. For me, it was like CLS. I was gonna like, right, CLS, and then I'll get Civ Eternal, and then I'll come back and get Jedi Knight Revan, and then get Jedi Knight Luke now, because my long-term plans changed. So it's just a nice idea to have in your mind of what you're gonna do. And my next point is something like I'm not great at doing myself, but I've been trying to be. And it's just because you see this little green like plus sign here does not mean you have to apply the gear. Like I'm really trying that in the minute, just to focus and like save up gear just for when I unlock Sith Eternal. And like because I just apply it, like I was like, oh, I'll farm up BAM and slap the gear on that team, or like this Jedi Knight Ribbon team. Like these two characters are max gear for what I can get them to before the 7 stars, but I'm not using them. Like it was probably a waste, but now I'm just trying to save up like my Kyrotech. I've got like 100 of each saved up, just because I know Sith Eternal needs a bunch as well. Like yeah, 93 of that one, 120 of that one. Like I'm just saving up my gear, just so again, it's not just being spread thin through like a bunch of teams, and I can focus on just getting the like my requirements up to gear 13, or even now saving up so I can get Sif Eternal up to gear 13 when I get him. And you can, if you're going for a character like that, you can check what gear they need on SWGOH.gg. That's the best place to do it. You can see all the what are they called, gear requirements. So yeah, that's one more thing. Another thing is make sure you're spending your currency early on to get gear. Like once it loads, we'll jump into shipments. Make sure you're claiming your these ones that cost credits every day or every refresh even. Once you've got 400, make sure you farm up the characters you want first, but then make sure you're still claiming ones you've got maxed out so you can get shard shop currency. Again, this one, make sure you're just buying gear for teams you're trying to farm up at the minute. Like your most important ones are like the Mark 5 stun guns, Carbantes. Off the top of my head are like really good ones to get. If you're in Crate Dragon Raid, there's Karatep. I don't think it's very good at good value to buy it out of this yet, unless they change the price. These like gear 13 pieces of gear are really useful because the drop rates feel so low. Or like these ones where you get the 15 for your scavenger as well. They're great. You know, like I'm even considering this at some point once I'm like starting to just farm Jedi Knight loot, but that's not going to be for a little while. Yeah, your Mark 5 stun guns, you never have any of them. Even these Mark 5 thermal detonators, never have any of them. Carbantes, you know, I've got a few saved up at the minute, but that's just because I'm saving up. Usually never have any of them. Even these hollow projector salvages, I never have any of them. I don't really know why. They just feel they're just needed by so many characters. I just never ever have any. But they're like the main pieces of gear that I can think of that you just never have, just because everybody needs them. But obviously there's more. Your squad arena, make sure you're playing this every day so you can like farm the characters up you want. And then once you've found the characters up you want, I usually just buy the prestige just so you can upgrade your ship's abilities, just because they're so important. But even once you've got your ships maxed out, then you can, or your capital ships even, you can again buy characters you've got maxed out for shard shop currency. Galactic War, make sure you're doing that every day, even earlier on, which is why one of the teams I recommend farming early on is Bastila lead Jedi, just because she can regain the protection at the start of each battle. So even if your characters lose health, they still regain all the protection back into the next battle. So she's the best character for that early on. But yeah, make sure you farm up the characters you want. I've done that now, so what I've been doing is farming up the ships, because ships have a better return in shard shop currency, so you're going to want to farm these up. And then there's obviously ships like Ahsoka's ship, Plo's ship, the Unborrowed Starfighter, you're going to want for a negotiator fleet later on. Wedge's ship if you're going for Jedi Knight Luke, the Resistance X-Wing if you're going for Rey. Jedi Controller Starfighter's in there as well, but you know you don't really need him. But I've got him 7 stars just and max out just so I can like buy him for shard shop currency. I can't think of any other ships off the top of my head that are here. Oh, the TIE Fighter is as well, so that's a useful ship to farm up. So yeah, this pops up with some very useful ships early on, so always just buy the ships. Fleet Arena, I would always recommend saving up to 2,000 to buy ability, Zeta ability mats. But then again, you can farm up characters like Darth Vader in here, especially before you unlock the Zeta mats. Because you get those, I can't remember what level it is, but it's quite a late level. So you're talking like levels in the 70s or 80s, I'm pretty sure. But like characters like Grievous, Vader, like even, I suppose not Tarkin really, but Rex, useful character. Spy, First Order TIE Pilot. But your main want to be is the Zeta mats. But the way I do it is I get 1,300 a day of the Fleet Arena currency, just because I'm not like a very high level in Fleet Arena. So like I'll get one, like I'll get one lot of 1,300, then buy like a ship or something, which will put me down to 900, and then the next day I can buy a Zeta mat, and I'll just keep doing that. Guild event, I've always used it to buy gear, but now I'm just thinking you really should farm up your characters out of it first. Like I've started on Wampa. I'm gonna get another lot tonight from Hoth, Lightside Hoth. So I'm going to be farming up these characters quite a bit over the next, well, however long it takes me to max them out, just because I'm going for Jedi Knight Luke. They're quite important for that. But once you've got the characters, make sure you just, yeah, again, buying the gear out of here. You might as well. With the get 2 tokens, make sure you're farming up these ships at the top, the Malevolence and the Negotiator. Honestly, I would probably recommend, that's a hard one. Because you can get the Negotiator, you get GK more easily, but the fleets can be a bit of a pain. Like the Malevolent, you just get your 2 droid ships, the Vulture and the Bomber, the Hyena Bomber, and then your Geo ships, and you'll already have decent Geos for the Dark Side GOTB and unlocking what Tambor. So Malevolence is a great one to go for, or Negotiator. So you can really choose either. It just depends on preference. I think Negotiator might be a slightly better fleet, so hopefully I can unlock mine soon. I don't think it definitely won't be this time around, but maybe in like 1 or 2 more rotations of territory battles, I'll be able to get the Negotiator, which will be very, very nice. Grand Arena, honestly, the only thing I ever farm out of here is the Kyrotech, just because it's the best place to get it. It's all I ever farm out of here. I don't really touch any of the other gear in here, especially not these mod things. I can't remember what they're called, but you know what I mean, to upgrade the mods. I would never ever touch them, or any of this like lower tier gear. If you're gonna choose any other gear, make sure you're choosing like these things, these like injector salvages, or some of these like gear 13 gears. Gear 13 gears. Yeah. Gear mats. But I would honestly just stick to the Kyrotech. You need so much of it. It's so hard to get. It's not double rate, so you only get one of it on like not hard nodes, like I said, dark side nodes. So just always be picking it up out of here whenever you get enough currency from Grand Arena. And finally, Shard Shop. You can pick up your Grievous. Most of my Grievous shards have come from Fleet Arena or the Separatist, what's it called? Assault Battle, I think. So I've not found Grievous out of here yet, but I will one day when I start going for the Malevolence and the Droids. But for me, that's not for a while. I can't see myself getting Grievous. I can see myself getting Grievous soon, just from out of Fleet Arena if he pops up. But I won't be farming him here, and I won't be getting him up to 7 stars for me. Out of here, I like to buy these Gear 13 gears or Gear 12 gears, gear mats, just because right now for the Scavenger, like these things are needed for the Zimbato cards. I think that's this one as well. And then usually some of these pop up for the Erodium heat sinks, I'm pretty sure. So I always farm those up just because they're such a pain for me. If we go over to the Scavenger. No, Electrium Conductor, this is the one I mean. These ones are a pain. And then, yeah, there's a Zimbato card. For these ones, I don't think the math for crafting them is any better. So for these ones, I just get rid of the low tier ones. But for the Electrium Conductors, crafting the best piece is always better, like efficiency wise, even though you do have to farm up like different amount of gear for it, like some purple gear. Like if we take the wristbands and we go to the proper one and craft like these Mark 4, not Mark 6, sorry, Carbantes, but you get better value and better return out of them, so you might as well do them. But I won't be farming them up again for a little while now, just because I've finished that with my account. For my Sith Eternal farm, I mean. Like, that's, for Sidious now, this is the last relic level I need. And I will finish this in like a day or 2, just because I need so little of this, signal data now. And this first one, I can't remember what it's called, the fragmented one, is the drop rates are so high for it, especially when compared to this blue piece, which is the flawed one. So it's going to be a day or 2 now. I would honestly say by the end of tomorrow I will have him Relic 7 and then can start farming the tokens, the dark side tokens I think they're called. If we just jump back into the journey guide, go to GLs, go to Sith Eternal, these things. Yeah, dark side currency, and they can start farming that and unlocking them. I'll probably do a video once I've gone through each of them once. You know, just like showing how to do it, showing how I did it and stuff like that. So that'll come probably not soon because I have no idea how long it takes to do that. But my final tip is, oh no, my penultimate tip is make sure with these ally points, Just open some bronzium cards. I should do it more often just because it's a pain to go through 30,000. It takes a while. But there are like there's hot utils I think, which is like an external thing that'll do it for you, but then you've got to pay for that, and that's just not really free to play still, is it? So just open these, spend 10 minutes, just like put a YouTube video on or something on Netflix, and just click through and doing that. And you know you get character shards, you get little bits of gear. You know it's just easy enough. Get yourself some shard shop currency as well, because you can get the characters in it up to 330 very quickly. But then my final point is going to be Conquest. Make sure you play it when it's out. I know it's a pain and I know it can take a while, but especially if you get into hard, easy, just do the easy one the first time and then go into normal. But when you start getting towards like these ender bits, you know, the extra relic mats and all the gear and the slicing mats and the zetas, you know, it's just worth it. Especially if they're free to play. I wouldn't buy the pass. There's just no point. It's just not worth it, especially in my opinion. So don't worry about that. Just play through Conquest, you know. It doesn't take that much effort really, it just takes time. But that'll be it for this video, I'm pretty sure. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, especially if you found it useful as well. And I hope to see you guys in the next one.